Ciao, everybody. Welcome back to the Bianca Arizona. It's podcast time. We're doing another split thing. We're doing another two-parter. I think it just works out for our schedule better. But welcome back to the Bianca Arizona. It's episode 9, part 1, season 3. I'm Julian. This is Ale. Um, how you doing after the last week? We didn't get to speak really much on the game because I was busy doing stuff and you were doing your own thing as well. We're gonna go over that firstly, and then we're going to go into basically our approach the past couple of games since Sassuolo. And the title of this is We're Too Scared to Go Out and Win, or go push for wins, or go push for goals. And you've seen that in the past two games. So I'm going to let you say how you are first. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
You're
Busy.
good? Yeah.
Busy, good.
After some of these Champions League results, puts a smile on our faces. It's kind of funny. Doesn't make me feel as bad that Juventus are not in it because we'd still be shitting it anyway, but we'd be shit with everybody else. It's wild. The quality of the teams in that competition is actually hilarious. And the bigger teams are still losing. So it is what it is. Again, this is part 1 of our podcast this week. And let's just start from the Atalanta game. You said your piece, I'm going to say my piece, and it just goes into what the title of the show is. We're too scared now. We're too scared. Ever since we got banged and bent over by Sassuolo for 4 goals, again, one of which you just put in your own net. So it's not like on the outside of, 4 goals, that's bad. They ripped us apart. Not really. They were just clinical, Sassuolo, and we got bent over that game. And now Allegri is putting us back into a fortress. Not fortress. Oh, 2 clean sheets. What I mean by fortress is he just wants to protect our net.
Yeah, against not even against the best sides in the league. I think that's the
against
issue.
Lecce, who was top 4 at the time, boohoo, Crimea River, and against Atalanta, who last year in the second last game of the season or something, you put them to the sword quite easily.
Yeah.
2-0. When you went out and attacked.
I was more. I will let you go first because I was more pissed about the post game. Because
yeah, you can go into that because I didn't really. I know what you're gonna say, so I'm going to.
Oh,
agree
you
with
can
what
you
you
can
say.
go. Like I did a couple of videos already, so you can go. I was like, the game was like disgusting. I don't even know how. Like, I don't know another word to describe that because.
Yes.
Remember when I kept saying last season, like that Milan game, like that was the worst game of the season, and we lost to Maccabi Haifa twice, once, and Benfica, and name it. But I kept saying that Milan game away from home was the worst game of the season because he told the players, "Don't lose, do not." No, he didn't say to lose. He said, "Do not win." That's I think what he said. That was the idea.
The references to the 2-0 win. When Vlahovic assisted Brahim Diaz, that game people to remember.
Because besides the first 5 minutes, we didn't cross midfield. And I'm being that serious here. Like, I'm not even pushing it. It was and I thought, you know what, we moved past that, because that was extreme. And I saw the game and I was like, wow, disgusting. And then post game, I'm like, this club is sick. And the players they're brainwashed at this point. They are brainwashed. Because what I heard from Chesney and Gatti, and then Allegri, of course, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was listening to it, and I wanted to do a video, and I did a video. I needed 2-3 hours before I could record it. Because I was like...
Because you're fuming.
Yeah. And, and I kept I was very calm in the video but in those 3 hours, I was like, what did I just... here, like, what is this, and I was like, am I mistaken? Like, am I supporting Atalanta?
Clearly not, because they want to win.
Yeah, did I miss something over here? Like, am I watching the right club? Like, am I? So you go on the game, because I don't know what to tell you about the game.
The game is what the game was. Like, the quality in the game was horrendous. The tactics aside, because this is going back to Allegri and what you said, or what he said after the game, or what the players are mentioning as well, it all has to do with what happened tactically. But even technically, just the midfield is so bad. Like technically, you think Fagioli from last year he just improved. Rabiot, I saw the guy go for the ball and receive a ball
Yeah.
with no one around him,
Uh,
10 yards, either like in a certain diameter around him, 10 yards. No one was around. His first touch was worse than the wall coming back. At least I know the wall. If I passed it off the wall, is coming back to me. That
I-
guy's first touch went that way,
it went
10 yards
out.
away from him.
It went
Yeah,
almost out. Throwing from center circle almost.
the ball was bouncing the whole time in midfield. Like Locatelli was fine. I'm usually less harsh on him, and you were actually not praising him, but like saying he was
He
okay.
kept it clean for once.
Yes, he kept it clean, but like again, balls bouncing. Fajoli, balls bouncing around his feet. Rabiot, like horrible. He's horrible.
A lot of
Moise Kean,
excuses.
Moise Kean, horrible. Balls bouncing everywhere. Anonymous whenever for 10 minutes, 10-minute periods. Chiesa, balls bouncing everywhere. He had one nice run. He dribbled up around Toloy nicely. Great. That's how everyone's posting on social media. I don't care. You tied and you didn't. You had one shot.
I
But they're gonna put it in his compilations.
like the bouncing things. That goes back to what I think. Like people say, like, oh, we need 12, 15 new players. We need an entire new squad. I think people are pushing it because technically we have players are well equipped. Like they are, you know, they're not playing like it because in my opinion, it got into their head that we cannot lose. Like we cannot lose,
Yes.
and then you start doing bad things. It is what it is. If you're
Yeah.
not free in your head, you get that. That's what you get.
Yeah.
If you get restricted in every single thing you do, and that's what is happening now. It is. You get
When you're tactically sheltered and told not to do something, you are not going to be able to do what you do best.
agree. Like you will look like that. You and we will keep looking like that unless they get the freedom to play. Sule, just quick, I'll throw it out there.
Yeah.
How does he look when he is free to do whatever he wants? I don't want to hear because I said it like who shot?
Yeah, no
oh, there's
pressure.
no pressure. Bullshit. He's technically good enough. It doesn't like if you play for Juve, Frosinone, or I don't know, Virtus Entella and Serie D. If you're technically good enough, you will show it. Period.
Yep.
And he's showing
Absolutely.
it, you know. And when I see Chiesa play the last 2 games, I'm like, no, like you said, bouncing off his feet, not beating his man,
Yep.
frustrating, you know, tripping over the ball, forgetting the ball
Yep.
a couple of
Yep.
times in that first half, especially in that second half, especially, you know, in those rare occasions we cross midfield, like forgetting to take the ball, running against players, you know,
Yep.
to his, you know, defense, like he was on an island up there. He was like it was sad to watch.
Keane was on 3 different islands over there. He was 3 islands away. Moise Keane.
Like I've said my piece on Keane. Like he's not a starter. If he's plays, I want to see him on the left. I don't want to see him in the center like he was because
Nah.
he's not good. He's not good. Like period. He's not
a
that
focal
player.
point.
He's not
the
that
focal
player.
point.
You know, when people were screaming, "Oh, let him play," his goal to minute ratio is. I'm like, whatever. You know, good, fine, okay. You know, if that's what you think the level is we need, fine. But in my opinion, it goes to the mentality because I don't think Chiesa is technically poor. I don't think Miretti. I don't think Fagioli. I don't like Locatelli. Like these players are not technically poor,
No.
but they look poor. They look extremely poor, and that goes to coaching, the idea you put out there, the idea you install into the players. And now post game, it made me very clear. It made it very clear
So-
what the issue is at this moment in time.
Before you go on a rant again, I don't know if you're going to rant again, but last week, what did we talk about? What did you tell me Chiesa said?
Yeah,
That Allegri tells
yeah,
him.
but the style of play, you know, attacking, but like he lied.
That's a lie.
He lied completely. Allegri might have mentioned that once in preseason. That's a lie. It's an absolute lie because if he's actually telling the players that and you put that out on the pitch, then wow, wow. Because
The team talk was literally don't let Atalanta shoot the ball. That had nothing to do with going forward and what you wanted to score goals. He was saying do not let them get close to our net.
It was look at Atalanta. Do not look at us. Just
Yes,
focus on Atalanta.
that's my point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're not gonna win a lot of games this season if that's
No.
what you're gonna do. That's not like I'm sorry. Like, that's just not gonna be the case.
And I think this stems back from Sassuolo because you
I
got bent
agree.
over for 4 goals.
Oh, the Lecce game made it very obvious what the plan was because
Yeah.
everybody was
Again, it
expecting
was like,
we come out firing. At home,
yeah,
Lecce. No, we
yeah.
didn't. We did. We did. We were
You
very calculated against a
two
very
banks
poor
of four
side. Yeah,
against Lecce, 2 banks of 4. Don't let them shoot.
against an extremely poor side.
Yes. And now we got Torino on the weekend. Same idea.
Yeah,
Who's going to score on Torino? That you should go out and attack them.
you should.
Are we home?
Yeah, we were at
It
home.
doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're home. Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, you should. You're home. You got the 12 o'clock game. You got a great time slot. First game of the week, or no, second game, I guess.
Saturday. Yeah, second game.
Yeah, second game of whatever. But the teams you're chasing, the Champions League teams, they'll all be playing Sunday most likely. This is the time where you put Torino away, but you won't. We won't, because we're gonna be told to protect our net, and then we're gonna be we might draw Torino, and then Napoli, Inter, and Milan are all gonna win, and then done. Season's over already, because now you're 7 points behind, and that's too much after 8 days, after 8 games.
Well, I'm not even thinking about that.
Yeah, but we expected it to be close.
Oh,
if it's already set, if
like,
it's even
the
7 points
expectation-
already, it's done.
Like the expectation I said, like that's like okay, wow, like the expectation I set for the coach is that my expectation. I said, yeah, I understand what it's gonna be. I think that's obvious. Like I said it 2-3 weeks ago, even before the Sassuolo game. I think it's obvious what type of season we're gonna have.
Yeah,
We're gonna win the game where we look great, and then we're gonna win a bunch of games in which we don't look great. We're gonna lose a couple of games, some in a very bad way, in my opinion, because that's who we are. That's who we are.
That identity of us is then inconsistency.
Oh yeah, I think that's obvious. No,
Yeah,
I think that's very obvious. Like we are inconsistent within games, so
yeah,
like half of games, not even like 50-minute spells, like just complete
Yeah.
45 minutes. Like I've said it. Like there's no improvement. It gets worse. Like I wasn't on live, and I asked the chat, "Are we getting worse?" And people said, "Oh, maybe it was you." I think we're worse. I believe
when?
them when he first joined. And last season, I believe we
I'm not
look
there
worse.
yet.
I believe we look worse because I've heard what these players now said. In year 3, that's what these players said. I'm like,
In that context, yes, but
That's
I can't get
bad.
over Monza, Maccabi Haifa in like a 3-game span. I can't get over that.
I can because I can see what's gonna happen. It's just we don't play Maccabi Haifa this season, so it's gonna
Yeah.
be I don't know Verona. I like pick your team. It's gonna be one of those guys. Like it's gonna happen.
Like who just got promoted? If it's like Cagliari and Genoa both in a row, then I'll be like, okay, this is worse. But nothing will trump Monza, Maccabi Haifa. Not like I'm sorry,
I don't see.
but
I don't see-
contextually speaking, third year, fresh start. You assume after all the shit that's been put behind you, you expected a bit more, and you had a bit more, and now it's back to bad.
I'm not buying this is the year the new project starts. I'm not. No. Like we're not gonna do this now.
I agree.
We're not
I
gonna
agree,
do this.
but there's like a clean slate in terms of off the field stuff.
Yeah, that I get, but like the media and Juntili is kind of pushing the idea that you know what, it's we're the first year of our project. No, like you might be, but that guy isn't. Like we cannot do this. Like if we do this, the next couple of years are gonna be extremely ugly. Like I cannot do this.
Like
This is
Gentoli
year
is,
3.
yeah, Gentoli jumped on a moving train right now. That's
Yeah.
what he did.
For him, it's
If he
year 1.
fired Allegri July 3rd or whatever day Gentoli came, then it's a fresh slate. Then it's like we're starting a new project.
Yeah.
But you jumped on a moving ship.
Yeah, I agree. So
Again, the whole idea of, and they revere him in the media. So no, sorry, let me rephrase this. Gentoli says Allegri is the focal point, and the reference point of this entire club. So if the reference point of your entire club is saying, not even saying, like, he's just promoting boring, non-attacking, not even boring, not
You
what's the
know,
word I want? Scared tactics, scared
you know what
tactics.
it is? If like I like September, I don't expect him to come out and say, "Oh, let's see." So I'm fine. But what I don't accept is him taking it up, not one, but like 100 notches, saying our rivals are. Not one fan on planet Earth wants to hear that. Like, there's no way. Like, if you were gonna tell Man U fans now, even though how shit they are, your rivals are Brighton and
Aston Villa,
Aston Villa, they will
Newcastle.
they will be outside of their stadium. Like,
Yep.
what the hell? Like, I don't care the situation. Those people are not our rivals. They never were. They never will be. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear that from anyone at the club. You know, are they as good as us now? Maybe it doesn't make them our rivals. Like you, you put us in this situation, not jointly, but like we're in a situation because of not because of history, but because of mistakes. You know, so
Yep.
nobody wants to hear that. Like I don't think these guys can read the room. like I, I don't think they're like connected to the fan base. I'm pretty sure they're not. Like I'm
They're definitely
100%
not.
sure they're definitely not. Because if you are slightly connected, you don't say these things. Even if you think these things, you don't put that out there because it's already, how do you want to say it, like a very negative atmosphere around the club, you know?
Yep.
You don't need to, pour some more gasoline on that fire. Like it's not needed.
Yep.
Don't say that. Even if you think that, do not say that. But he was extremely proud.
But that's
saying
the
that.
thing though. You can't even think that, man. He's not at Napoli. You can't
That's
think that.
that like I don't know how. And again, there is a part of the fan base who are like, "Oh, he's right." I'm like, "Yeah, he's right because you don't rate this club." Like it's as simple as that. I'll keep saying it. If you're sitting there and be like, it has nothing to do with Allegri. It's all on the players. And yes, those are our rivals. And you make excuses after excuse for certain players who are not good enough. You do not rate this club.
Yeah.
Because I can sit here and be like, we're not good. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he says the right things. Respect him. Oh, the GA from Rabiot is good. Respect him. I'm like, good. But I have my two eyes.
The
Mid-game,
GA from Rabiot is good, but the results are not there.
mid-game, I was told we had 3 shots on target, 60 minutes, and the other team, 0. And I was like, you're not watching
Great.
the game. You have an app on your phone and you're
Yeah.
reading the stats. Because there's absolutely no way you're coming with me with that. I said we're playing like a relegation side, and somebody wanted to be technical and smart, saying a relegation side doesn't keep them to 0 shots and we have 3. How did that end for us, by the way? How did that end? Like, we had our
Yeah.
lowest GA of the season, besides the Lecce one.
XG.
XG. And the third lowest since 2015. Basically since 2017, excuse me. And you're telling me we had 3 shots on target and we kept them to 0 in minute 60. You do not rate this club. You don't.
No.
You can actually be a rival fan and taking the piss out of me at that point, which could be the case. Trying to wind me up. I don't know, because this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's being accepted, by the way. Like it's crazy, but there are a lot of people out there who are accepting this. It's not year 1. Like I said, it's 3rd year, and we're still doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
Insane.
This man again. Remember? Okay, last week or a couple weeks ago, before we lost to Sassuolo, I was saying I was happy because we didn't lose yet. We weren't like after the Lazio game. I was hesitant to say we both were actually because you said, what was it? What was the title of the last one a couple weeks ago? Where we're like Allegri 2.0. No, was it Allegri 2.0? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then we were both hesitant to be like, no, it's definitely not. Because one bad result and then he freaking turtle. You know when a turtle puts his head back into a shell?
Yeah.
He basically, that's what we are right now. We're putting our head back into our shell. It's embarrassing. How do you beat Lazio 3-1 on that day so convincingly, and then a week later, yeah, a week later you go to, I don't think Sassuolo is a city. What's the city called? Emilia. You go to that
Yeah,
stadium and
Reggio
then you
Emilia.
drop a
But
stinker. It doesn't. You should not. That should not matter. You should go to Lecce and still try and like play the same way you did again.
that's my point. Like shit happens, you know. Pick yourself up
Yes,
and move again. Basically, like everybody had
and
a horror show. Just move on.
yeah, and he's the one who's saying top four is the goal. So if you want to play championship mentality, defense first, you're going for a title then. Isn't that what that means? Good, best defenses win titles or whatever, championships.
Like
Just try and go win.
the quotes
Try and go
of
win. You're trying to be top four. Try and win games.
the quotes of "there's only one spot left and we need to get them" are disgusting. Like
Yes.
there are certain owners from the past. They're crying in their grave now. They are. Like,
Yes.
they are absolutely. I cannot believe what's happening. You know, because again, the players are picking it up now. That's like what I said. Oh,
That's the scary thing.
we need quality. Fine, but the players who have quality in the squad are contaminated. They are
You have 4.5 good quality players, at least.
because
5 if you include Szczęsny. Okay, the one game against Sassuolo, he sucked. Whatever.
they are at a point now where they believe that they're not good. That's one.
Yep.
That you can lose games or not win games because hey, top four.
Danilo.
You
Danilo
can do that.
personifies that.
Yeah, that. And the third one is they openly come out and say it's okay not to win a game rather than lose it. And I'm like, fine. If you're playing Inter away and you're getting peppered, but it's still 0-0, I'm like, close up shop. Take the point, leave. Fine.
Yep.
You're saying that after you played Sassuolo and Atalanta. Wow. Like, unacceptable. Like I said, Napoli
Lecce.
away.
They said it against Lecce.
Same, but like you said, like we scored the 2-2 against Sassuolo. We should have closed up shop, took the point. I'm like, no, you should
You're
not.
saying God quote. Yeah, yeah.
We were terrible, but Chiesa scored that goal. We had the momentum. You go for it. You win that game.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
That's what good teams do.
He said against Atalanta, we realized we needed to take a point. I'm like, Atalanta weren't that good. Like, what are we talking about here? They were not peppering us.
Can I also
were.
say something? You know the aim is top four? A top four team still, when you tie the game against Sassuolo, they still go for wins.
Yeah, obviously. It's crazy.
It's not like a 17th place team. Oh, we tied Sassuolo. Let's set up shop. No, you tied. You go win the game. If you're trying to be a top four team.
They are being being treated like like you're doing with your kid, basically.
Yep.
Very careful.
Babying him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was listening to it live, and I was like, now the journalist is gonna say something, right? Or the studio is gonna say, buddy, you play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. You do realize that, right? Nope.
Yeah.
They all kept their mouth quiet, and I was like, wow. And maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe we are not the biggest club in Italy and one of the biggest clubs in the world. But imagine Modric coming out saying, man, we need to realize that if we play away to Alaves and Cadiz and it's 2-2, we just, take the point. Wait, what? They will, that will, like the media will be like Ballon d'Or winner, Champions League winner. They will eat him up in the media. They were like, no, we're not doing this. Like that's unacceptable.
The fans will break down the new stadium.
They will. Like they're crazy. Like they have standards, and again, you can have off periods, fine, but they're not gonna lower their standards. That's the standards. You guys make sure we get up there again.
Yep.
And we're not gonna do that by telling these players you're crap. All of you are crap. Don't play football. Don't go out there to win. I actually want to hear. Too bad there's no documentary because I want to hear what that pre-game talk was.
I
1
know.
week to prep for that? Are you serious? And then he comes out saying, He switches it, by the way. 1 week it's good to not play in Europe. The second week it's not good, and now he's saying
because they didn't win.
we have time to prepare. I'm like, prepare what? Like what? Like, and then Danilo, let's take the positives. Are you kidding me?
Do you want to see the? Let's
What
try and get.
I will ask you
read
because I asked the
Yeah.
chat.
Yep.
What positive thing did Danilo see that we need to take with us? Because you tell me. What's the positive?
Okay.
One?
We were outshot. We were outpossessed. We were out expected gold or whatever it's called. They ran more than us. What else? What else happened? So they technically defended better than us because we had less shots. They had more momentum in the game. They had more quality. They had the ball in better areas than we did.
Yeah.
Yep. What else? What else am I looking at here? Yeah. I don't see anything positive.
So
The positive thing is
we got away with it.
we got away without not a loss.
It's disgusting. It's like and more people are actually finally getting the Danilo thing. Like he's a puppet.
Yes, of course.
And they got away with it. And more people are like stop it. Like stop it now. Like enough is enough.
Yep.
Enough is enough because this is. Oh, I'm not gonna say that because we will get canceled. Never mind. This is no, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. But this is some this is some next level propaganda they try to do with the club. It's up to a point where even a lot of those people are like, stop it. I don't want to see a pic about a captain's armband. Like we're crap. Like we're shit. Like that's not gonna help us. It's not gonna help us when he comes out and say we need to learn. Buddy, you're 33. Yeah. You're not gonna learn. In football, you're not gonna learn anymore. You're done. Like it's done. That's who you are. It's finished.
All you need to be a captain of this team is you need to wear glasses and read a book on the way to a game. And say, "Oh, we'll learn from this."
It's unbelievable. And I have people saying, "Oh, Barzali learned after age." I'm like, okay, fine. Like, you want to do that? That's a one-off. Like that's a one-off.
I'm gonna be honest though, Barzali.
And he was actually good at Wolfsburg, by the way. He won a title with freaking Wolfsburg. He was
on the World Cup team. He was on the World Cup team.
He won a title with Wolfsburg. Was he?
Yes.
Was he as good as towards the end of his career? No. Like, okay.
No.
But that's like people saying last season, oh, in 2015, we lost the first 7 games. I'm like, okay. Like, we won that's also 7 straight titles then, or 6. Like, that was a winning squad. That was a squad full of quality and whatsoever, It was just, I don't know what happened in the first 10 games. It was ridiculous. But then they ripped off like a 21 winning streak or 20-game winning streak. Like
something like that.
If you think that's what's going to happen, if you thought that was going to happen last season, like
no.
You're not watching.
You should put on glasses and read a book.
It's I cannot believe what's actually happening at this club. Mindset-wise, it's
July 3rd when Gintoli came in, he should have fired Allegri right away. That's it. At least at this point, you would have had like if you were 4-2-1, you'd be like, okay, it's a new thing. But this is 4-2-1, and you're scraping away points here and there. We haven't played anyone good yet, by the way.
I said it. That's what I said so many times.
We haven't played in-form Roma when Roma is gonna. You're gonna laugh at that, but like. They have dangerous players, Roma. We haven't played them yet. We haven't played Inter, Napoli, or Milan. You're 4-2-1, and you're 4 points behind Inter already. And Milan, I think. Yeah, I think they're both top right now. Yeah.
Like I get him not firing him money-wise, but at the end of this season,
that's still unacceptable.
I don't think he can call that shot like money-wise. Period. Like he can call the shot to sack, but like I think higher up they're like we don't have the facilities for that. We just can't. But unless
apparently we do, because I'm gonna bring this up. We have our financial deficit this year.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't think it was feasible to do that this season. But if somehow and I would love to come on at the end of the season and we won the title, and I was completely wrong. I will be sitting here proud. I was completely wrong. But as of now, there's no sign of that whatsoever. Like, let's keep it real. So if it goes on the trajectory we think it's gonna go, if he doesn't pull the trigger at the end of the season, I will be extremely, extremely pessimistic moving forward. Because
Yes.
if you're that guy, you sit down with him and be like, we need to part ways here. Somehow let's figure it out,
Yep.
because just for your benefit and for the club's benefit, because we're just going in circles here.
Yep.
That I expect, if it goes the way I think goes. Top 4, it cannot be like, oh, he reached top 4, that's the goal reached.
He should still be fired if it's top 4.
Like, top 4 is just a bare, like, it's, come on. Like, I've said it, like, even if you think the other three teams are better than us, if you don't make top 4 in a battle with this Lazio, Atalanta, Fiorentina, and even Roma side, you said they have good players, I agree, but they're not going to have a good season because of the coach and who they are, period. That's why I believe.
Yeah.
If you don't make top 4 without any issues, then I have actually no words for it. Because I cannot explain that. There's no explanation for not making it. So for me, it's like a given. You should get into it, period. That's what I think.
Yep.
And
No,
it
I
shouldn't
agree.
be like he reached the goal. Like, the goal was, that's the bare minimum. They're trying to portray it as what an achievement, but like, I'm not buying that. Like, you made it last season. Easily.
I think at the end of the day, when we do finish 4th and it's the end of the season, Gentoli's going to say, oh, we did it. We did what we set out and we got our goal. And then that's going to give the whole club and the businessmen the backing to say, hey, Allegri can stay another year. Don't fire him.
Like, the businessman, I agree. But at that point, I expect Giuntoli to be the guy who's going to rebuild the squad and tell those businessmen, we're going to lose a lot of more money if we keep him. We're not going to improve. We're going to lose players. We're going to lose games. We're not going to sign the players we need. That's when he needs to step in.
That's
And
what we're
that's
going
when
to part 2.
that's when Elkan needs to step in and tell everybody he's in charge. I put him in charge.
Yeah.
Money-wise, is it possible? Yes, he calls the shot. Period.
Yeah.
Because other than Giuntoli, Amana, nobody has football knowledge at the club, in the boardroom.
Yep.
Nobody. Like, so I think even Elkan, like, he's not a football guy.
No.
So he put him in place. If it's feasible, like, financially, give him the keys and, let him work. Is it going to turn out to be good? We don't know, but let's see, at that point.
Yeah.
But you cannot ask people who are bankers and whatever to give an opinion about football. Again, not even me, personally, as a fan. I expect the club to make the right decision and not listen to fans, by the way. I will give my opinion, but I do want to say that. Like, I expect the club to be more level-headed than me.
Out.
Yeah, and not react like a fan and do the right thing like they did for like 7, 8 years straight. That's what I expect. I can be reactionary and emotional. They can't. That's what I expect from a club.
Yeah.
So,
well, I can't expect that because they suck.
yeah,
They don't know
no,
what they're doing.
fine now, but like, that's my expectation. That, like, you brought in Giuntoli for that reason, right? Like, that's what you brought him in for, I guess. You have Calvo, who I do like, up there now. Let these guys do their job.
And Carabini's still there.
Yeah,
I still see him at games.
Until yeah, he can still work. He's still working for the club.
Yeah, but the whole man at the end of it goes with. Yes, again, Gentoli's going to say what he says because I think he's in a hard spot right now.
He is.
With the top 4. He didn't have to say the Atalanta-Roma comparison or whatever rival. He didn't have to say that at all. But him saying the top 4 thing and echoing what Allegri says, he's put in a hard spot because of money.
Yeah.
If money wasn't an object, this would be totally different.
Yeah.
This whole operation would be totally different.
If we had money, he would have been gone in the summer.
Allegri would have been gone. Gentoli would have brought in 3-4 players of his own choice, and we would have been probably actually rocking and rolling. To be honest, like, Rabiot wouldn't have been re-signed and all that stuff. Rabiot is a big detriment to this team. I don't care if he scores a goal against who do we score against the first game? Udinese. I don't care if he scored against Udinese. I don't care if he got the assist. Was it against Lecce? I don't care.
I
He
saw
sucks.
just before we came on really quickly. I saw Fabiano Della Valle speaking on his weekly blog or
Oh, the one hit
whatever.
wonder.
Yeah, and she was making a lot of excuses for Rabiot, saying, "Oh, he's not fit, and when he's not fit, he's useless."
He's not
Um,
fit, so don't play.
Well, yeah. That was my point. Like, if you're not fit,
Yeah,
you know what? Miretti is fit.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that
yeah.
because I've seen Allegri do the same thing. He's not 100%. You know, that's why he's not looking good. That's on you.
So
That's
sit
not on
him.
me.
Let him rest.
Yeah, you're playing him 90 minutes
Don't.
every single
Yeah.
week. Not me, not him, you. So don't come
Don't let
out
him go to
saying
the
he's not
French
fit.
national team over 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I don't.
you cannot go like you cannot have it both ways. You cannot come
Exactly.
out say, "Oh, he's not fit." That's why he doesn't look good. But you play him 90 minutes for like 6 games straight. Like, what is that madness? That's
Yeah.
absolutely madness. Like, it is. You have other players. You know that. You know, and I don't think if you play Miretti and Fagioli, you're gonna lose that game against Atalanta. You're just not. Like, that's not gonna be the reason you're gonna lose that game. You might even
Yep.
do more, in my opinion.
You might
But
even hold the ball a bit.
it's crazy. Like, the excuses that have been made, they never, according to the media, trace back to Allegri.
Nope.
It's a lot of excuses, and I'm like, but there's one guy calling these shots. Not we as fans. You're telling us that, but like, it's not me. It's not the players. Rabiot's not walking into the dressing room saying, "I'm playing," and everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, if you called it first, yeah, you're playing. You called dips." Like, it's not like that. He's doing that. I said for many players. Like, it's for many players. Goes the same way.
Yeah.
But hey, what do we know? We thought it was a good idea to spend 7 mil signing bonus. Do it again in the summer instead of signing Fratesi and be good for like 10 years. I'm pushing it, but like, be sad.
That's
That's what we
Italian,
did.
so it could have been probably 10 years.
Yeah. I don't know how old he is. That's why it's like, oh, is he
I
24?
think he's
Then maybe.
23. Yeah.
Okay, so it could be 10 years. But no,
Yeah.
now in the summer, again, Rabiot. If Allegri is going to say another signing bonus, if we give him a 3-year deal and 7 mil, I will cry
I'm
on
out.
stream. I will cry on stream. Like, I will not hold back my tears. They will roll out because wow, when I watch Rabiot, I'm like, what am I watching? Like, I'll put this way. He's not.
Here's this. Last
he's
year
not-
he was good. He was
Yeah.
fine. He was fine last year. This year, it's horrible. So when you say he wasn't a €7 million player last year.
Oh no, I said
This
that.
year, no, I know.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wasn't a €7 million player last year.
No,
What is he this year? Not even close.
no, whatever. We have had.
And
these
again, this is all
conversations.
gonna. If you stick around and watch part 2 of this, it's gonna drop the next day after. We're gonna get into this again because it's the exact same shit. It's about player signings and what we can do in the winter. I said it sounded like I said the winter in the winter, but yeah, man, Rabiot again. I'm going to say this again. Epitomizes this current Juventus team and where you want to go. Max Allegri puts a defensive shell up. It's never his fault. Rabiot's his guy. Doesn't go forward. He epitomizes everything Allegri is, and it's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Anything else you want to talk about in terms of us being scared to play an actual game?
I'm fearful going to the San Siro after the break. I'm shaking.
You're fearful of that game? I'm fearful of Torino.
No, we will beat Torino. They're shit, man.
Okay, but listen, Allegri's gonna say it's a derby. They're gonna be up for it. Like,
I get it. They will be up for it, but somehow we will find a way to
no,
win.
I'm saying this is what he's gonna say to our players, and they're gonna be shell shocked. Like they're gonna crap themselves again.
I think we'll win. Like, it's not going to be great. I think we'll get it over the line, you know. But we're not going to have the type of performance we need before we say goodbye to 16 players and they come back 3 games before we play Milan. Like, we're not going to have that type of performance. We will have a performance that will
Shaky.
shaky.
Asks a lot of
The
questions.
players will be like, oh, national team, they will come back and they're like, oh shit, like we need to play
Yeah.
at the San Siro on Saturday. You know, uh, let's see what we can do. I'm actually fearful it will be a beatdown. I am. I'm actually
Yep.
fearful for that. That's one of the. That's gonna be one of those results we will look at like the Napoli one last season. What was it?
Yep.
6-1, 5-1.
5-1. 5-1.
That's embarrassing because that's
Yep.
in history books. It's embarrassing. Those
Yep.
are results I see in the year 61 or whatever. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't alive back then, so it was like cool. 5-1 away to Napoli. It's gonna
Yep.
stick with me for I don't know, probably until I die. Like I'm not gonna forget that.
It's. I'm only gonna
It's
forget that
embarrassing.
if we start winning consistently again.
Maybe. Okay, yeah, fair, but that's the beatdown. I'm fearful that's gonna
Yep.
happen maybe 1 or 2 times this season away from home, because if you play like you did against Atalanta, away to Milan, Napoli, Inter, they're oh boy, like we will get bantered, and we deserve to get bantered because they're not gonna be 1-0s. They're gonna be beatdowns.
Just think of Samuel Chukwueze running at Danilo or Alexandro if he's hit by then.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, never mind.
That's looking too far ahead, but again, we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Yep.
For this one, we'll end it there. The next one, again, part 2 is coming up the next day, tomorrow. Stay tuned for that one. Like this video if you haven't already. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And yeah, it should be the next video will be kind of fun.
Yeah,
But
let's see.
in terms of fantasy
Okay.
and what we could potentially get,
Okay.
it's going to be kind of fun. Okay, we'll wrap it up there. Ciao, everybody.
Ciao.
See you next time.